What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Chris back again with another video for you guys today. In this video, I just want to talk about the market. I was originally not going to upload, but I just felt like I can't go a day without uploading, so I wanted to actually talk about the market and kind of what we saw today and stuff like that, and what you guys can maybe expect over the next few days. I kind of made a similar video to this last night, which hopefully you guys did enjoy. But this one I think is going to be talking about a little bit of how to trade with these future star cards as well. And in terms of like the overnight flipping aspect of these cards. So basically, I'm looking at this Quebec guy, for example. And the reason why I'm looking at this card is because I'm seeing a bounce back. So these are like how the future star cards went last night. We had the servers go down, so nobody could buy. So a lot of these cards were like really low around that time. And what ended up happening is, as the day got on, before 6 p.m. UK, these cards actually did get bought up. And you see this guy went to 234, 235 for like 3 or 4 hours. And then he went all the way back down to 220 with the lightning rounds. And what ended up happening actually is people actually were really happy with this card, and they just bought him right back to 246, almost to 250. So for me right now, and I'm seeing 215 here, I'm seeing, okay, that's a buyback. All right, and you don't normally see that for a lot of cards. So the fact that there's a buyback, and also I'm looking at a lot of the bids as well. A lot of these bids, you see how they're already bidding all the way to 220. There's not much leeway. That means that these cards at 223 are probably gonna like get sold. And I also looked at the supply between 220 and 240 just to kind of make sure. And I mean, in all honesty, there's 2.5 pages. So I think over the next 7 or 8 hours, you probably can expect this card to go up to like 238 to 240, and that's kind of how to trade with these cards a little bit. You kind of judge the supply. You can do this with any cards, like just judging the supply and flipping them overnight when EU wakes up, because we didn't really see a weekly sell-off yet, and that's to be expected though, because you know their weekend league has been extended, so people are they're waiting to play their games pretty much till Sunday and Monday. I would expect a lot of people to get their games done tomorrow, before the Super Bowl. That's a big game, obviously, in America. I do expect people to get their games done before that, so you could see some sell-off before Squad Battle Awards. Now, what may happen is Monday could be that period where the market actually goes up instead of goes down. Like we usually see on Sundays is, you know, the market kind of goes down a little bit on Sundays, or on Saturdays usually, and then it goes up on Sundays. I could see that happening, you know, at the Squad Battle Awards, that the market does go up into Monday. I could definitely see that. So that's like kind of trading with like some future star cards. I was looking around at a couple different ones. I was looking at this Dominguez. I flipped mine overnight. I bought mine at like 440. I saw him at like 475. He did actually hit 488, which I was kind of pissed about because I could have gotten an extra like 10K, but it is what it is. He's now down at like 443. So the fact that he was 463, if this goes to like 430, I might be interested in that. Because I did see he was literally never lower through like 10 o'clock right there. He was never lower than 460. So if he goes down to 430s, I might be looking at picking that card up. Because the supply on these cards probably is really dry at the moment. So looking at Quebec there. I'm also looking at this Kamara guy. Kamara actually did really well last night. So he went down from 209, went all the way to 235. So that's a 25K swing. He hasn't really seen much of a rebound, but if he's been at his lowest point today, maybe you try to get him at 205 and you sell him at 225. That could be something I see going up. Again, like I said, the supply on these cards isn't amazing, so I could definitely see some of these cards rising. This went from, I think, 110 to like 127 overnight, if I'm not mistaken, if I see. He was never lowest at 110, but I did see 110s pop up, and he went as high as 128, so maybe that's a card that maybe at like 108, 107 could hit like 120 overnight. I could easily see this card going to 120. I can't see it going much lower because it's already at the lowest point it's been all day. So some of these lower tier future star cards are actually a lot of fun to trade with. So I have 2 Quebecs on my transfer list. May look at this card as well. Let's take a look at him. Okay, so he went from 86.8 all the way to 96. And he just continually went down to 82. So he's currently at 79. And there's going to be a buyback. Because between... When I'm recording this video, it's 10:36 p.m. Between 10:30 and maybe even like 1 a.m. That's a good time to pick up a lot of these special cards, and they usually go up like at, I would say from my time, like 3, 4 a.m. is when they start to rise again, because people from the UK are starting to wake back up, the EU and stuff like that, and that's why these cards do rise, and the lack of supply allows these cards to really go up. There's no lightning rounds being opened on a Sunday morning, pre 6 p.m. I don't know if they'll run lightning rounds tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see if they do, but I like doing stuff like that. Mason Greenwood's still 1.4 million. He went down to, I think, as low as 1.25 last night. And then he went immediately right back up. Like, I think I saw him at 1.2. Okay, he was 1.33. He went all the way back to 1.43, which was pretty expected. I thought, you know, he was extinct at 1.4. So, Felix 2.5 million. Martinelli's at 6.85. Tonali's at 1.16. And Rodrigo's 1.36. Talking about when to buy these cards, I just feel like these cards, especially the top tier ones, aren't really going to drop much. Because they're a lack of supply. I mean, if we go look at João Felix, I want to see how much supply this card in particular has on the market. So let's take a look. I spelled his name wrong, but let me see how much he actually is in the market. So let's just go 400k plus. Let's see how much supply this guy's got. So, I mean, look at this. He's got literally less than 3 pages. So to be at like 2.5-ish, you know, the lowest you may see this card get to is like 2.3, 2.4. I don't know how much lower you'll see that card. How about Rodrigo? Like, how's the supply on this card? Let's go take a look. So, again, 2 pages. Mason Greenwood. Let's take a look at how much he has. You see the supply on these cards? There's not much supply. You know, the lower rated ones, you could see some supply on, but not these cards. These top tiers, obviously, the pack weight's obviously not juiced at all. So, again, he's got 3 pages. So, I don't expect these cards to drop much. Even when they do drop, I do expect people to buy back because they're young. They're really in-demand players. I don't see them going down too much. In terms of the lower tier ones, like your Quebec guys and those guys, they may drop a little bit. Like, I could see Quebec settling around 170-ish because of, you know, the need for Bundesliga center backs is obviously really glaring. So, I could see this card definitely going down over the week. But I think you guys got to want to buy these cards before Thursday. That's just my opinion at the moment. We'll see if it comes to fruition. I like a couple of these cards, man. I like Emerson a ton, man. They don't have many right backs in La Liga. I know we do have the Semedo headliner, but again, it's like 400k, not this Emerson. And he's Brazilian, right? So, you know, if you did David Luiz, he gets a soft link. If you have any Brazilian icon, like Carlos Alberto, you can use this card with. I could see this card like settling around the 140, 150, and then he may go up out of packs like to 160, 170. I could easily see that. Let's see how low he actually is though. 174 up there. And what's the supply to like 190? Like, how is the supply here? Let's take a look. I want to see how many listings there are. So it looks like there's a good amount of listings on this card. About 7 pages ish, right? Yeah, 7 pages. That's a lot of supply between 174 and 193. So I could sell it for 190 most likely. 189, 190. Maybe I look at this card. Don't buy that, Chris. Looks like he's getting bids at 170, 179 here. So that's interesting. I'm going to keep a close eye on this shadow one. Trading with cards that have a shadow on it or a hunter with the new cards is actually really profitable. Because not many people know what they go for, so they fluctuate a ton. And people will buy because they just want to play with a new card and they want to play with them with a hunter or a shadow on them. So always look for those cards, the new cards. I was doing it with the headliners last week where you could see a hunter or a shadow on them and you can make some good coins doing that. I was doing it with Digne last week and I made a good like 40-50k just by doing it. So that's something to talk about. Moving on from feature stars, I want to look at the cheapest player by rating because these cards are at really good prices for you to go and buy. A couple hundred coins undercut, I think, is something you guys want to be looking at. Like any 83s at like under 1,000 coins, I think is a total buy. We'll see what happens if we do get lightning rounds today. Don't mind me, I'm just looking at bids right now. I'm just gonna bid on that card at 171. Under 1,000 coins, 84s under 3k, I think are really solid. 85s at like 8.5k, I think I really like. 86s at 14, 87s at 20. 88's at 26. 89's at like 33. Like, all of those like prices are really good to me. And I think we will see the middle icon come out at some point here. So, he bid last second on me. Of course he did. I don't really want that, to be honest. Like, 173. I don't know if I really want this card right now. He is fresh, obviously. I need to get 187 on the card to be able to make some profit here. It's like 4K. Do I even want that? It's not even worth it to me if he goes to 187. It's not even worth it. So yeah, that's what it comes to, like the SBC fires. I think they are buyable at the prices I just explained. Because I think the middle icon is going to come out sometime next week. And if that's the case also, I think tonight is going to be your last night to sell a lot of the higher tier cards. Because I think when the middle icon SBC does come out, you're going to see a lot of the Team of the Year's drop. You're going to see a lot of like, middle icons, top tier icons drop in price. People don't understand this, but like when the middle icon drops a ton, like say for example, if like the middle icon SBC comes out, you not only have people that will pack this card, but you also have people that will, they will sell this card off to go and do the SBC itself, depending on how much it is. It could be up at, you know, 500k, it could be 600k, whatever. People will still do the SBC. This could be a card that goes down, and what'll happen is the prime will have too big of a gap, and it'll kind of even itself out a bit where people will actually go and buy the middle instead of the prime. So, you could see this maybe drop a little bit if you see the middle icons in general go down. Obviously, this card doesn't have enough supply really to drop a ton, but it's something you guys can look at. I think the overall market will shit itself when that SBC does come out, because we saw what happened with the baby icon. We saw how many cards were sold off in that period, and the market was just not in a good shape at that point. So that's something that SBC fires, man, they'll probably fly. Even if they're invested in. If they're over-invested in, I feel like you just wait a little bit. You wait for people to sell right away, take their coins, let the kids take their coins, and then you sell a couple hours or a day or two after. As they, here's the thing, the kids sell right away, and this is why I always tell people never to sell right away on SBC investing, because the kids, when they are investing in cards, they don't really know when to sell. So the second they see an SBC come out, and they see the little bit of profit in there, they go and take it. They want to get their coins back. Then that's going to flood the market. So it might have a terrible, not like a terrible, but like a negative impact on the card's price for like a few hours. And then once everyone is using the same card over and over and over again with no supply, that card's going to rise a ton. So that's why you guys always wait, especially when Team of the Week SBC comes out. You know, you want to wait on the 83s and 84s. You never want to buy, you never want to sell straight away when it comes to the SBC, because you want people to use them into their SBCs and then they're buying in every single time. And that's what's making the demand for the card go up. So that's really it. I think, you know, in general, I think I'm 13-3 in the weekend league. This is the squad we're using. The things that I did today on the market, I mean, we made a good 100k coins. Just flipping, you know, obviously I flipped the Dominguez card. Flipping a lot of chem styles on informs and other specials. So I've been enjoying that a ton recently. I think I've made over the last 3-4 days like probably 800k just on this. So just been, you know, going around and looking at different cards and seeing if we can find them with shadows or hunters on them, and, you know, capitalizing on some profits. So hope you guys did enjoy this video today. It's just gonna be a shorter video, but I hope you guys did enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Comment, subscribe if you're new around here. Talk to you guys in a video soon. Peace out.